Things I'd wish somebody would have shown me sooner. Starting with modal comping with block chords. Let's break that down. So modal comping was something that I kind of discovered naturally, particularly with restriction exercises where I just try to make a single 2-5-1 sound as interesting as possible. I started noticing that I was doing this. So what I did there is, right, I have two shell voicing positions for my 2-5-1 with the root starting off the A string or the root on the E string, and I bridge that gap by playing a B half diminished shell voicing to A minor shell voicing. Why did I do that? Well, likely because if we look in the key of C major and we build thirds off of every single note in the C major scale, we get C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G dominant 7, A minor 7, B half diminished, and C major. So that B half diminished and that A minor, in the context of me playing a 2-5-1 in C, don't really register as new chords, but instead as kind of like a bunch of movement on that C major sound. And it was a nice way for me to get to where I wanted to be, while also kind of avoiding the trap in a 2-5-1 of the C major just lasts long, even if you change the voicing around a lot. But then I was having a lesson with one of my teachers, and he showed me block chords. He showed me that these, especially these drop 2 chords, they include the 5th, and they don't by default include a more interesting tone in relation to the chord you're trying to make, right? So either get this sound, or the drop 2s that I've been playing the most, this sound. A good sound, but a very formal and kind of vintage sound. So if we, instead of building the chord using the space of thirds, but do it with fourths, so C, F, B flat, and E flat, for example, for a C minor sound, we're going to talk about C Dorian, then I get a more interesting sound. And then I can do the same exercise where I just take each one of these tones and I move them up one note on, in this case, the C Dorian scale. Ooh. So now, let's say I'm playing blue bossa that has 2 very long islands of C Dorian and F Dorian. Right, that's a lot of time. I could do a lot of things. Now, what I have been doing is thinking about inversions and different embellishments mostly, but you still end up with like a very C Dorian sound. If instead I do what I just did there was I just thought about this series of chords, and I moved the center from C Dorian to F Dorian to match the movement of F minor 7 to, C minor 7 to F minor 7 at the beginning of blue bossa. Super cool, because then I can sound like instead of, which may be a sound I want, but also the other one's cool too. We could take this to the nth degree. We have this melody in blue bossa. Well, let's do the same exercise of finding these block chords, but on the top 4 strings. It's going to change the shape slightly. Still C, F, B flat, E flat. and then I find the melody. Oh, that's it. So. Back to the way I was doing it before. Right? So I hope that shows you kind of a little bit of insight into something that I'm working on right now, which is taking these block chords and now using them a little bit more modally, and then also just using these block chords because they sound really cool. I mean, that comparison to that, I really like this for the Lydian sound. Good luck. Comment or DM me with any questions.